Well, there is a new generation of lawmakers in the country as Gen Z has officially entered the chat, as they would say. 23-year-old Bryce Berry, a Democrat, took on incumbent Misha Maynor after she switched parties in the 56th State House District, and he won by a pretty large margin. Well, now he has a seat at the Capitol, and he's a full-time middle school teacher, a recent Morehouse grad, who is eager to bring a fresh perspective to the state legislature. How are you feeling right now in this moment? You have a seat at the table.
I feel great. I mean, it's such a historic moment for Gen Z and for my generation that has always had a voice. Gen Z has been the fuel of the movements that we've had for justice in this country. But now we have a vote, and I feel that weight on me for our generation. Also feel the weight for teachers that, again, have never been able to serve in the state legislature until about 3-4 years ago. And now teachers have a vote as well.
And I want to ask you about your background a little bit, because you came here from a parent-teacher conference, so you are actively serving our kids here. Why did you want to even run for office in the first place?
Well, that's a great question, and I get the question most often. I'm 23 years old, and so when I decided when I was 22 last year, and just got to start off my career. I have a girlfriend who I know would love for me to be with her more often than I'm not on the campaign trail. But it was my students, really. I teach 7th graders, and 7th graders are going through a moment where they're asking a lot of questions. They're asking a lot of questions about why is rent so high? Why is healthcare not affordable or not accessible? Why is my school look different than the school that's 5 miles down the street? I have students that are homeless, students whose parents work 3-4 jobs just to make ends meet, students who have unfortunately been victims of gun violence. And they're looking to us as a state for answers to their questions.
When you were going out there campaigning, what was that number one issue that people came to you saying that they want to send you to the Gold Dome to change this for me? What was that number one issue?
It was so funny that it varies by household, but overwhelmingly what I heard is affordable housing. Rent is too high, mortgages are too high, interest rates are too high. We need to make opportunity more accessible to folks. This is a district that has Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, Georgia Tech, Georgia State. We have over 300,000 folks that come to our state every single year wanting to stay in Georgia and produce in Georgia. But the reason that college students leave the state is because housing is just too high.
When you get into state legislature, session is called, are there any policies in regards to affordable housing that you would like to see passed?
Let's just talk about blighting. Mayor Dickens has passed a blighting law in the city for the city of Atlanta, which I think should be the model for the state. And I'm ready to work with state legislators on that as well. I think we need a statewide model because blighting doesn't just hurt urban communities, it also hurts suburban and rural communities as well. And this is a statewide issue of developers, most of the time from out of state, that are coming into our communities, offering to develop land, do this and the other, and they just don't. They just leave it. And they just leave it to collect dirt and trash and so much more. And that causes a strain on the community.
As you know, when you enter your role in the state legislature, you are of a minority, a Democratic minority there. Right. How are you planning to reach across the aisle to your colleagues to try to get something done when it comes to gun violence in schools?
Well, I think it's the benefit of having a teacher in the State House, to speak from that lived experience every single day. No one's there right now that can speak to lived experiences for our students that walk into school every single day, or speak to experience as a teacher. I pray every day for my students and for the surroundings and for the school building, because I know that this could be the final day. And that's an unfortunate thing. And so I plan to be very vocal approaching my Republican colleagues with those experiences, with me telling them my prayers I have for my students, telling them the experiences of students that have had family members that lost to gun violence or have been victims of gun violence themselves. It's not a normal thing, and we cannot continue to believe that this is normal. I'm all for solutions. Speaker Burns has said he's probably going to introduce a school safety bill. I'm waiting with hesitant eyes to see what that might be, because we know that all solutions to school safety are not the true solutions to school safety. The issue is just the guns. The issue is the guns. And we have got to be vocal in sharing the pain of families and of students. And, I want folks to feel the pain. It sounds dark, but I really want folks to feel the pain. They need to feel the weight of what they're doing and the weight of their inaction.
And I know you mentioned about Speaker Burns' proposal, which I believe he says that he is willing to continue to look at. It was just a proposal. Would you be open to working with them on, I guess, in your point of view, improving this existing proposal? Do you think the existing proposal is not enough?
Well, I've always said I will work with whoever, whenever, and however to get things done for my community. And so, yes, I offer my support to Speaker Burns in this effort. Speaking from as a teacher, school safety is important to me. And so it does need to be better. We cannot over-police our students into safety. We also cannot arm teachers. Those are not true solutions to gun violence. And so I will work with them and be a partner on them on this issue of school safety, but understanding that, the non-starter is arming teachers. A non-starter is over-policing our students that are already, especially in Black and brown communities, already over-policed.